Hey YouTube, how you guys doing? Jared Fuller here. Today is Sunday, April 14th, 2018. I'd say joining me off camera this week is Dad and Amy, but you're probably hearing them snoring in the background. So I guess they're kind of joining us this week. It is almost 6 o'clock in the morning. I wanted to get this done and out of the way because I've got some plans for today. We do have a winter storm coming in. We're expecting 1 to 2 inches in my area. More, higher amounts the further north in the state you go, lesser amounts or zero amounts the further south you go. But we're in the 1 to 2 inch range. Um, so yeah, but I've got plans today to take off. I just want to get out of here. Just I might go meet up with a friend. I don't know yet, but I just need to get away for a while. Um, so yesterday was the ABC 12 Family Expo at the Frankenmuth Credit Union Event Center over in Birch Run. I did get to meet Isaac Presley. Um, Fat chance, that Isaac knows that my YouTube channel exists, let alone does he watch the videos. But I will say that Isaac was a very, very respectable young man, and we shook hands. We had a picture taken. He signed an autograph for me. So now I officially have 341 autographs. I've been collecting since 2007, of course. And I will have the picture of myself and Isaac together, plus a picture of the autograph at the end of this video. So stay tuned for that. And while I'm thinking about it right now, I want to remind all of you to visit guidestar.org. GuideStar.org has a complete and comprehensive listing of all the 501c3 nonprofit organizations and LLCs approved by the federal government of the United States of America. Don't be fooled, don't be duped. Visit GuideStar.org today. So back to the ABC 12 Family Expo. It was really, really good. I always have a good time every year when I go. I lost count on how many years I've gone to the Family Expo, but it was really good this year. Um, I got to see some of my old friends from ABC 12. They're always happy to see me. They all know who I am, and because I guess I'm quite popular with everybody at ABC 12, so I've done a lot of, because they know me as a cancer survivor. They know me for all the charity work I've done in raising awareness to childhood cancer, and just being a friend of the reporters, and they just know who I am for all of the work I've done, and just being the kind of person I am. I like to joke and share laughter, and I shared hugs yesterday with April Rose from 102.5 WIOG, and I got hugs from two ABC News reporters. ABC News reporters, ABC 12 news reporters, um, Rebecca Trilch and Dawn Jones. Um, Rebecca she's a sweetheart. I've always liked her. She's always been one of my favorite reporters, and uh, she was there yesterday with her son Maxwell, and the kid has the reddest of red hair. And when Rebecca spotted me, she says, "Jared, oh my God!" And I come here, girl, give me a hug. And we gave each other a big hug. And she says, "Did you see my son Maxwell yet?" I said, "I haven't. Has he grown?" And yeah, he's right there. Oh my God, he has grown, you know, and he's waving. He's a toddler yet, and he's, waving, and I'm waving back. And I said, "Can you give me high fives?" And he puts his little hand like right here. "Hey, high fives, big man." And Rebecca says, "Oh, that's so sweet." And he was waving at me walking away. He was even waving at me like bye bye. And he's a sweet kid. And Rebecca has always been one of my dearest friends, although she's a news reporter for ABC 12. But they are really down to earth people, and that's what I love about everybody at ABC 12, all the news reporters, Matt Franklin, Terry Camp. my buddy J.R. Kurtak, my buddy Ryan Slocum, who's a sports reporter. Um, there were a lot of field reporters there, and I got to meet Brad Sugden, who is it was his first year at the Expo. He's a new um, uh, meteorologist at ABC 12, and it was his first year, because he's fairly new to the team. Um, but he was a really nice guy. I shook his hand. We talked, weather stuff, and it was just really a great time. I enjoyed it. Dawn Jones, she came up and she was gonna shake my hand, bring it in here, and I gave her a great big hug. And I told her, I said, you look fabulous. You look fantastic. I said, you're smiling all the time, and she says, yep. She says, I love to smile, and I hope she never stops. I wish I had that kind of zest for life, the way that most people do. Uh, to see them smiling and happy-go-lucky, and they feel love and they just want to share it with everybody. That's generally how I am, but I have my good and bad days just like anybody else. But when you're around people who make you feel that way, when you're around people who make you feel loved and appreciated, and they make you feel warm, um, those are the kinds of people that I like to be around. So being at the expo is kind of, it's not only is it great to be around people who know you and they respect you and they admire you for just being who you are, but they make you feel important. And yeah, they're news reporters. Jared, you get that from news reporters? Sure, because at the end of the day, they go home to their families. Um, they're always going to have the occupation of being a news reporter or the reputation of being a news reporter. But like I said, at the end of the day, when their shift is done, they are family people. They have husbands, wives, children, um, and they're just like a long lost friend, kind of. But when you see them at the expo, I mean, it's incredible. They come up to you, they shake your hand, and I've even had a few of them yesterday. I wasn't expecting this. I wonder where my buddy. Oh, speaking of my buddy, there's Jared. How you doing? And I'd shake their hand, and just the people are incredible at ABC 12. Um, they're just really nice people, and I've got friends in television and radio. Um, they're good people. I enjoy being around them. Um, I'm already looking forward to next year. But anyway, not too much happening around here through the week. Of course, Dad and Amy, they're snoring. Or Dad's just lying there listening to me, pretending that he's sleeping. He does that, but I don't know if you can see him over there off camera, but he's actually on camera, but he's snoozing. Um, yeah, I don't know. I've kind of been distancing myself. I don't know. Like I check Facebook, and it's just the same old depressing shit every day, and it's like, hmm. It's like my friends have seemed to have forgotten about me, and I'm just kind of sitting here pouring my heart out to people, and yeah, whatever, I guess. I'm finding that Facebook, um, and I've said this any number of times. I probably faulted Facebook more than I've praised it, but Facebook, it really is not good for mental health, because even as an adult, and adults should know better, but it's this idea that you have all these friends, and you genuinely love and care about your friends, every one of your friends, but they put so much of their effort into trying to attain the approval of people that they never hear from, not even for a fraction of a second, and they are going after these people who never give my friends a time of day. I've talked about this several times um, over the course of the past, I'd say 6 months. And my friends, I love them dearly, but they don't seem to understand what I'm trying to get at. Um, and I'm not trying to throw shade or anything, but it's like, these people don't care about you. Why are you giving them so much of your time? They're always telling me to stick to the people, focus on the people who will love and respect you and care about you back. And I do that because genuinely I love and care about all my friends, all the people I've had connections with in my life. I genuinely love and care about my friends. It's just who I am. And when they don't return that, it's kind of painful when the feelings aren't reciprocated. So it kind of hurts. And Facebook gives off this. I I don't want to say false impression. I mean, there are a lot of things about Facebook that um, people like to purport to the reality of Facebook. Like, everything on Facebook you see is true. And while they live such amazing lives, and my life is shit, and I'm just kind of sitting here in awe of them. Um, Really though, I mean, I genuinely love and care about my friends, and sometimes it's not always reciprocated, and yeah, it kind of hurts. It's bothersome, and so it's like, fuck it, whatever. I'm just gonna, you know, not look at Facebook. If you want to talk to me, if you want to reach out to me, you know where I am. But that's kind of where I've been lately in my own head and in my heart. That this really fucking sucks when you don't feel like you're loved and appreciated by your friends. It sucks. And I'm not demanding attention. I'm not saying that, well, you're not putting all your attention towards me, therefore, you know, no, not at all. I'm not their only friend. And, they're not my only friends. I have lots of friends. I have lots of connections, but it's just the idea that, like sometimes I'll text my friends and I'll just say, hey, I hope everything is going okay, and um, much love and best wishes to you. Um, it's like they can't even take 2 seconds out of their day to respond to a text and say, hi, Jared, love you too, or whatever. Um, it kind of sucks, because it's like, wow, I'm kind of like out here all by myself, and the people that I generally reach out to and I love genuinely, it's like, where are they? They're too busy chasing after people who don't give a fuck about them only when it's convenient for them. And it's not just in the childhood cancer world, but it's also in the entertainment world as well. I mean, I understand that, like, I have friends who are in the entertainment business and they have friends who are also in the business, so there's more in contact. It's like it's right up their alley. They kind of know each other on a business level. But it's like, when you're not looking for a business relationship or a business friendship, what about your friends out here who have always just been supportive? Like, when we reach out to you, we just reach out to you because you were on our minds today and we want to know how you're doing. And we're not trying to play, you know, I want all your attention. We're not trying to do that. It's just that we're trying to maintain the friendship. And I know life gets busy sometimes, and I totally get it. I'm an adult, I get, life gets busy for me too. I always find myself doing things around the house, or sometimes I just get so dragged out depressed that it's like I don't want to be bothered by anybody, because I'm reaching out to people and I'm not hearing from them, and it kind of sucks. And so I just say fuck it. I'm just gonna stay in my room with my bedroom door shut, and I'm just gonna have some time to myself. Um, I don't think it's too much to ask just to respond to a text. I don't think it's too much to ask to acknowledge the people who genuinely care about you and the people that you actually hear from more than people that you never hear from, only when it's convenient for them. And I'm seeing this a lot with my friends in the childhood cancer world. It's like you're making, you're putting so much of your effort, you're focusing more on people who they never talk to you. And this is the case with people who they help people, but then they let it go to their heads, and then they think they're above and beyond everybody else. But it's like these people never hear from you. Okay, sure, so they donate something or they dedicate something in the name of your child. Well, big deal. So have I. It's called poetry. I don't get as nearly as much respect or attention, although I'm not an attention whore, but it's like, okay, so I wrote a poem for your kid, but like, I'm just over here, you know? This person over here that you don't talk to every fucking day or at all for that matter, somehow they seem to be the focal point of your attention all the time. And they only reach out or they only spotlight your kid when it's convenient for them. They use your kid. I'm not going to dance around that. They use your children to make themselves look good. And every time I say that, every time I phrase it that way, I know my friends kind of get pissed. It strikes a nerve with them, but it is what it is. Because if you're not hearing from them any other time, any other day of the week, they're not texting you, they're not calling you, they're not emailing you, then that tells me, and it should be obvious to you, that they don't care about you until it's time for them to make themselves look good. Well, honor kid today is such and such. Well, good for them. You never send them a card. You never text them, say happy birthday, merry fucking Christmas. You don't say any of these things to these people who are supposedly your friends. And yesterday I did the math. Um, I talked about this before, where we have a friend limit on Facebook, 5,000 friends. And realistically, and I pointed this out, we don't have 5,000 friends, let alone do we know 5,000 people. At least I don't, um, because I have a very small circle of friends, but to me, they're larger than life. And that's why I love them so much, because to me, they're everything. But it's like 5,000 friends. You don't talk to 5,000 people daily. You don't know 5,000 people. And it's like, if you divide 5,000 by 31, generally 31 days in a week. I don't even have my cell phone with me, um, but I do have a calculator on my computer. So let's do the math. Let's see, calculator. Just for shits and giggles. 5,000 divided by 31. So that's like 161 friends that you would have to talk to a day. So 161 divided by 24, and this is without sleep, by the way. You would have to talk to 161 people within 31 days for 7 hours a day. The minute that 7 hours ends, you start on the next one and the next one. And there's no sleep, no eating, no sleeping, no anything. You would have to constantly be on the phone with one person every 7 hours, with no breaks in between. So, do you see how unrealistic that sounds? You don't have time to take care of business elsewhere in your life, like you have no life, that you have 5,000 friends? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's unrealistic. I don't know 5,000 people. I don't have 5,000 friends. And, and that's all it is. It's just people who like to be the constant center of attention all the time, and they demand it. And the thing with me is I have something much, much, much better and deeper with the friends that I have. Sure, I'm known by lots of people, but there's something that's more valuable to me that I will take to my grave, and that is the love and respect that I have earned from my friends. And that's why we keep in touch. That's why they reach out every so often. Um, but I understand people get busy, but even when I'm busy, if I have a break in between doing something, I text my friends and I say, "Hey, I hope you're doing good. I love you guys, and reach back when you can. We'll talk soon." Um, this person over here that my friends are chasing after, that person doesn't give them the light of day at all until it's convenient for him or her, depending. Uh, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating. But anyway, enough of that. But I'm going to be taking off today. Like I said, I don't know. I'd probably just drive and, I don't know, maybe meet up with a friend, hang out with them. Uh, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Dad, he knows I told him I was going to take off today. That's why I wanted to do the Sunday video early and make sure I get it done and out of the way. And I don't want to take up too much time because uploading these videos to YouTube takes forever. And so I don't want to use too much time here because I really, really want to get out of here. I want to just go. Um, we're under, I think it's a winter weather advisory, Saginaw County, where I live at. We're under a winter weather advisory until 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, Monday morning. So we're supposed to get a couple inches of snow. Um, hopefully the roads won't be too bad. Um, if, I have any traveling to do on Monday morning, I don't know yet. I don't know what happens during the week. Some things I don't play. I just, get up and do it. Um, but if I have a scheduled week, then I know what I have to do. But um, yeah, I just kind of go with the flow, or at least try to. And I try not to let things bother me as much, but they do. They do because I like to know that I still exist somewhere. I like to know that I have a place in somebody's life, and it gets it gets lonely when you don't get a text, or you don't get an email, you don't get a phone call. It gets lonely, and you're just kind of kicked back and you're watching TV, or you're staring at the wall, and it's like, wow, I wonder what my friends are up to today. It's boring and it's lonely not talking to anybody. Um, it's hard, but I um I hang in there. I do what I gotta do. But it's, when you don't hear from people for so long, and then you find that, oh, well, they're directing all their attention on someone who doesn't give a fuck about them anyway, only when it's convenient. And it really, really irritates me. And it's like people who give faulty advice, like someone that we don't speak anymore, but, and for good reason. Um, he likes to say that, hard work is a guarantor of success. And I pointed out any number of ways that no, it's not. Um, and I think people are getting this misconstrued as well, because when I say that no, it's not a guarantor of success, they're taking it as hard work never pays off. I'm not saying never. I am not saying never. What I'm saying is that there are people who bust their asses all their lives and still come up empty-handed. Hard work is not a guarantor of success. Sometimes you work hard and become successful. Other times you don't. And when someone puts that idea out there that hard work always guarantees success, you're more or less just taking notice of the arrow that hits the bullseye, and you're ignoring all the misses. You're ignoring all the times that the arrow doesn't hit the bullseye, which is dishonest intellectually and fundamentally, because you have to realize and understand failure in order to appreciate success. And if you've never failed, how can you understand success? You have to know what failure is. And the fact that a lot of these people that I talk to, they know failure, like it's living in their backyard failure. Um, and it's like, for yourself that this person is blowing sunshine and smoke up your ass, because hard work does not guarantee success. Sometimes you work hard and you get what you want. Sometimes you work hard and you don't. That's the point I'm trying to make, and that's the point I will always make. Um, and anybody, well, I wouldn't say anybody, but that one person that I have in mind who wants to constantly um, put this out there, that hard work is always a guarantee of success, is absolutely full of shit. And I wouldn't have a problem calling him out on that to his face. But, they say, well, Jared, the only reason why people don't succeed is because they don't work hard enough or they don't apply themselves, which is also really fucking dishonest. You don't know a person's extenuating circumstances to be making blanket statements like that. You don't know what a person has tried to do. You don't know how hard they work behind closed doors. You have no idea what they go through. You don't know how hard they work. How dare you imply that you know that success only comes from hard work? That's a bunch of shit, because there's people who actually do work hard and they still don't get where they want to be. It's just a fact of life. And I go for the unpopular opinion, which I think also pisses off a lot of people, but oh well. Uh, I live in reality, in the real world. I don't live in a bubble. I don't have you know suffering delusions of grandeur. I live in the real world, and I experience real world uh, issues and joys and fulfillments like anybody else. So um, that's that. But people, they have my email address, they have my cell phone number, they can call or text or email. I'm not a hard person to find. And being a childhood cancer survivor, I also have a lot of people who discover who I am either through my YouTube channel or on Facebook. Um, they see in my bio that I'm a childhood cancer survivor, and so they reach out to me or they follow me and they say, "Hey, we notice that you're a Wilms tumor survivor, and my child is a Wilms tumor survivor, and I was hoping maybe we could talk." Of course, absolutely. If there's anything that you want to know, don't be afraid to ask. Um, yeah, it happens once in a while. I still talk to my friends, the people in the childhood cancer world. I still talk to them and text and email and sometimes phone call. And same goes for people in the entertainment world. I text and even call them, talk to them over the phone, which is great. I love hearing their voice. I love having that communication, because most people who don't understand that you're human first, they get caught up in the delusion that, oh my god, I'm talking to a movie actor on the phone, or a movie actor invited me to their house, like, oh my god. Well, yeah, there are people in the entertainment world, the people who are actors and they're in the industry of filming. Yes, they have invited me to their house, and I intend on going and visiting and hanging out with them and making some memories and sharing laughter. But because I live a very dynamic life for the most part, and it's not something that happens every day. Like I don't have random people in the filming world or the acting world calling me or texting me saying we want you to come and stay with us for a weekend. It doesn't happen every day. But when it does, and it has, and like I said, I intend on going through with my plans, um, it is like one of the coolest feelings because you feel loved and you feel welcomed and you feel wanted. But it's not because they're actors. It's not because they're in the industry. It's because we connected, we clicked as just ordinary people. We're just friends. I can pull apart the fact that okay, they are in the filming industry, but I love my friends just for the people that they are, not for the groups they associate with, not for the their occupations. They're people first, and I think a lot of other people seem to forget that. Like yesterday, matter of fact, when I was at the expo, um, the kids were getting so excited. And, I understand they're just kids, so they're meeting someone who's he was on a Disney Channel television series, which was pretty cool. I mean, I was kind of excited to meet an actor from um, a Disney Channel TV series. But there was a young girl who was standing behind me. She was with her grandmother, and she asked me to take a picture of her with Isaac Presley, and so I did. And but I let her go in front of me. I said, "Well, you're really excited to see him, right?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm really excited." I said, "Are you kind of nervous?" She says, "No." I said, "Is your heart going boom, 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 boom like this?" And she says, "Yeah, kinda." I said, "Well, you can get ahead of me." And the grandma says, "Well, that's okay. You were here before us." I said, "No." I said, "She's excited to meet this kid." I said, "I want her to have that experience." I said, "You go ahead of me. You go ahead of me." I said, "And I'll take your picture." And she was just so excited. She was ecstatic. She loved it. And I had taken a picture, and uh, wow, it was just the coolest. But see, for me, when I met Isaac, um, sure, I understood that he is the reason that I was there is because he was a Disney Channel actor, and I have, like I said, I have connections with people who are in that industry. But I don't get starstruck. Like I see somebody, and it's like they're they're people like everybody else in this room. They are another person. I don't get caught up in being starstruck. So um, I walked up to him, I shook his hand, and we had a picture taken together. We did I had to reverse the camera on my phone. That word that I just cannot stand, but people use, selfie. But anyway, so we snapped a picture together. Like I said, it'll be at the end of this video. And he was signing my autograph, and he says, "Well, how do you spell your name?" And I told him Jered, and he says, "Oh, you spell it, you have a special way of spelling your name?" I said, "Yeah." And he says, "Just like my name, Isaac, Isaak, usually it's spelled with a C." I said, "Well, because, we're special, and they broke the mold when they made us." And he says, "That's right." And I mentioned Nicholas Bechtel, which, he was a co-star on Stuck in the Middle. And I also have an autograph of Nicholas, by the way, but I did mention him. And I said, "It's just like Nicholas. I mean, his name is spelled generally the Nicholas." He says, "Yeah." He says, that's weird. Some people have special ways of spelling names and others don't." And I mentioned to Isaac about how Nicholas was on General Hospital. And I asked him if he was still on General Hospital. And he says, he's trying to move away from that. And it's like, "Oh, okay, because you work with Nicholas, and you kind of understand how that works." And he says, "Yeah, he's doing good though." He says, "He's a really good buddy of mine." I said, "Oh, I have his autograph too, And he's like, "Really? That's cool." And so I can carry on a conversation um, with people, although they are in the entertainment world. I can still carry on those conversations and not get caught up in, "Oh my God, I'm in the presence of an actor. I'm in the presence of greatness." while they are great, and I'm not taking away from that, again, at the end of the day, they're people. They're fellow human beings, and I would treat them any way that I treat anybody else. Um, and I treat people the way that I would expect to be treated. And so that's where that comes from. It's just I remain humble, my feet are on the ground, I'm aware of my senses and my surroundings. And if Bruce Willis were to come walking through my door, I would treat him no differently than Joe Schmo down the road. Um, so that's just who I am. I don't get so easily starstruck. Uh, Not that Bruce Willis would ever come walking through my door, but it's my fantasy. I can live it. I like Bruce Willis. He's a good actor too. But anyway, I just thought I'd get a head start on this day. It's going on 6:30. I've been here for a little over 35 minutes. I think that's long enough to be flying solo in a Sunday video update. Um, there was one other thing that I was going to mention from the expo yesterday. I was getting ready to leave. Everybody was packing up. The day was over. It was a wonderful event, by the way. And I said my goodbyes to, or not goodbyes, but so long to a lot of the ABC 12 personalities, and they're wonderful people. Um, and it was windy yesterday. And as I was pulling out, because the theme for this year's ABC 12 Family Expo was the beach, and they were giving away beach balls and stuff like that, and the Hawaiian style necklace things. I don't know what you call them, but I have one. I'll pull it out. This thing here, like this Hawaiian uh, thing. I don't know what it's called, but anyway, they were handing these out. They had beach balls and things like that, and so I was pulling out of the parking lot of the Frankenmuth Credit Union Event Center, and one of those beach balls went blowing away. And something told me, well, that had to have been a kid's beach ball, because I don't know of any adult who would have wanted one, because it's basically kid themed. And so it's like, okay, I was just going to drive off and let it go, but it's like, no, that belongs to a kid. And they probably wanted their beach ball. So what I did was I put it in reverse, spun my van around, and I pulled up into a parking space, and the beach ball had blown into like a row of trees, I guess, or bushes or whatever. And I got it, put it in my van, and I pulled up to the gentleman. He was standing outside. I said, "Excuse me." I said, "Did you lose a ball by chance?" And he says, "The beach ball?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Yeah." He says, "The wind caught it and carried it away." He says, "I couldn't catch it in time." I said, "Well, I have it in my van if your child still wants it." He says, "Really?" He says, "You got it for my kid?" I said, "Yeah, why not? It's a ball." And I pushed a button and opened my side door. I said, "Here, it's in the back seat." And I kind of pushed it out where he could get it. He says, "Oh my God." He says, I'm so grateful. He says, "Thank you so much." And it's like, you know, it's no biggie. I mean, it's a kid's beach ball. I mean, what the hell? I don't, if I can help somebody, I just want to help somebody. That's all I want to do. And why the hell am I still wearing this thing? um, but it's like, it was a kid's beach ball. I mean, I have a heart, and it belonged to a kid, and I'm sure they wanted their ball, and why not? They had a good time. They had fun, and I'm sure that the beach ball alone will be reminiscent of that particular time yesterday when they were having fun and they got to meet a famous person. Um, but yeah, so, and I'm not looking for kudos or pats on the back. I'm just, you know, it, irrespective of what people think of me, I, I'm I'm a good person. I do my best to put other people's needs and wants at the forefront of my priorities. And sometimes it backfires, and it has blown up in my face any number of times. And, it hurts. It's painful. It makes me sad. Um, but at the end of the day, those people are the kinds of people who show their true colors. And I'm still remaining the same person I've always been, someone who genuinely cares. And I do genuinely care about people. And I've lost a lot of people over the years. And like I said, it's painful. It's really painful. And, I think about them a lot, and I wonder how they're doing. They're not thinking about me, but probably enough to the point where they need gossip. But that's a big fat whatever. So anyway, I guess that's all I wanted to say. Um, I've been here for about close to 40 minutes, I believe. Um, oh, over 40 minutes. Okay. All right. That's long enough. But anyway, I guess I will spin out of here. I've got some plans today, just to get out of here, to just put some gas in my van and take off. So much love to all of you. I will be here next week. I thank all of you so much for joining me for another installment of the Sunday Video Update. Thank you for watching and listening, and try to have a good week. Be careful out there on the roads, fellow Michiganders. I'm hoping that this will be the last bite of winter, um, because we're over it. We had 70-degree weather last week here in Michigan. We're over it. It's got to stop. It's got to change. Um, So hopefully soon it's going to start warming up. But anyway, I'm out of here. Much love and peace to all of you. I'm spitting out. Here are the pictures from yesterday's ABC 12 Family Expo. I'll be here same time next week. Well, maybe not the same time, but same YouTube channel. Take care, guys.